Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. Today, we're going to be talking about something a little different, a little interesting, and something that you may not realize relates to HR. In Major League Baseball arbitration, just 2 weeks ago, Juan Soto netted 23 million in a contract, and Pete Alonso and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. set records. Friday was one of the big dates for MLB's offseason calendar, and it's the reason it was a big date is that it's the arbitration deadline, which means it's the final day for teams and their arbitration eligible employees slash players to exchange salary figures for the upcoming season. So we're going to get into what this looks like, where this came about, and how it was devised, because it's a really interesting story and success in labor rights. So the Major League Baseball Players Association is a little over 57 years old, and they long attempted to unionize. So unionization first started in 1885 by a name you might have heard of, John Montgomery Ward. And then in 1898, Baltimore Oriole players considered forming a mutual defense organization. And then there were more organizations called the Players Protective Association, 1900, the National Baseball Players Association of the United States in 1922, and then finally the American Baseball Guild in 1946. So it was a long process. Again, it's 57 years old. It wasn't officially recognized until 1966. And the first CBA was formed in 1968. It raised the minimum salary from 6,000 to 10,000 per year. And in 1970, they finally created arbitration in the collective bargaining agreement. Then in 1972, they had a strike. It went on, and there were more arbitrations that came in 1974. Oakland A's failed to make a $50,000 payment into an insurance annuity for Catfish Hunter, and that case got taken to arbitration, where Hunter was considered he could be a free agent. And then there was another strike in 1981, and the most famous strike in the 90s that really dealt a blow to baseball as a whole. But the Major League Baseball Players Association has a long career. The collective bargaining agreement was the first one in professional sports in 1968. There was a significant delay in the collective bargaining agreement just last year, right? That shortened the season up considerably. So the Major League Baseball Players Association was really the spearhead for organization and unionization in professional sports in America. Let's get into how Juan Soto and Vladimir Guerrero Jr. were able to net records here. So, players with 3 to 6 years of big league service time have their salaries determined by or informed by salary arbitration. The idea is that the teams and the players should negotiate really hard so they don't have to go to arbitration. And frankly, they rarely do. A lot of times the negotiations are really productive. They're able to look at past arbitration decisions made and come up with a proposal. That said, if they don't, they have a third party arbitration panel that decides who gets which salary. And the way it works is that the salary or the team proposes one figure and the player proposes one figure, and the arbitration panel picks one or the other. This this prevents both highballing and lowballing, and it seems to be a really effective strategy for making sure that you're effective and that the salary figure is correct. I believe, and I could be wrong, but I believe that the players submit sort of reasons why they should receive this certain amount. And I think that that's pretty interesting as well. these are possible to do through the collective bargaining agreement, and other companies will have collective bargaining agreements where where an arbitration panel is defined. Not usually, I don't think, for salary, but for discipline and things of that nature. And long-term extensions can come from these talks and from these negotiations, and that's what's exciting about it. But the deadline was Friday. It was a couple weeks ago, and it was Friday the 13th of January, and this came from it. And it's really an interesting lesson in human resources, collective bargaining, and arbitration that you may see in your daily life, but don't realize that it impacts your workplace and impacts how you experience the world. These aren't just rich people that are doing these things. It's someone with, with their employees, just like you and I. Now, that's it for human resources for the people today. Please like, share, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. What do you think? If you're a baseball fan, what do you think about Juan Soto's contract? You know, as a person who does follow it, but as an Angels fan, I can't justify it for Juan Soto, but I think I'll get heat for that hot take. As always, as always, I'll see you on the next one. Bye, guys.